Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
And so, yes, you are waking up to some news out there this morning right here. So yeah, that definitely triggers, I think, a little anxiety, like what's coming next. This is where it is. It is now actually about 125 miles to the south-southwest of Great Exuma Island in the Bahamas. You can see that it's lost a lot of its thunderstorm activity or convection underneath the circulation. All of it actually off to the south here. So there's still a lot of moisture in general with the circulation, but just around the center of it right now, it has lost that deep thunderstorm convection right there. Now, the steering flow hasn't changed. We're still going to be watching for this big subtropical high to be the main feature that steers it along. We also have, though, a little upper low that we're watching. That upper low is going to be shifting like this across Florida, and as it does, everything will sort of help tug it up to the north, especially as our next system starts to come down. So you're fairly confident on the track of where it's going. We're going to have some decent rain coming our way to the southeast. And let's take a look at where we are. Today's forecast, no influence from a tropical system. This is just classic summer. We do have a front up to the north that starts to sag south. Could be some thunderstorms along that. On the increase tomorrow in places like Middle Tennessee, including Nashville, thunderstorms in Memphis and Little Rock, where I know today in Arkansas, Jonesboro, one of the spots dealing with some some big issues with some heavy rain from overnight. We're going to see more in the coming days too. Shreveport, Jackson, chance of showers and storms. Any influence from Fred at that point will all be in South Florida. But watch what happens as we get you into the end of the weekend. So now Sunday into Monday, models have been generally bringing it up here towards the Florida Panhandle. Where it goes beyond that, there is disagreement. However, there has been general consensus that the moisture will be on the east side here, bringing us additional rainfall across parts of Georgia, South Carolina, eventually up into Piedmont as well. So here's a look at that moisture. The brightest red colors are the biggest amounts of precipitable water in the atmosphere. You see how that moves on Sunday right up here across the peninsula, up into the Panhandle, moving up into Georgia and Alabama, and then we'll see that rain on the increase as we get into early next week. Exact details still TBD here. Got to have patience with the forecast, knowing that things are going to change. But let's take a look at one example of the forecast based on the European model. You can see it brings a low right up here into the Gulf Coast, making a landfall. Yes, and wind may not be the biggest issue. It may be the rainfall, because you can see how we have that pretty wide spread. And this is Tuesday, spreading up here across Georgia and western North Carolina. Some of that rain could be really heavy at times. In fact, 3 to 5 or 5 to 8 inches of rainfall. Again, based on one model, but certainly that's something that we're concerned about. Alex, a lot of heat and humidity today to deal with. Your mid-August heat, where today it's going to feel like 100 in Nashville, 102 in Little Rock, 104 in Dallas here. So it has been a bit above average in terms of just temperatures and heat index, everything all sort of bubbling up. Now, we're going to see some storms coming in. We got a front coming in. That's going to help knock things down a little bit eventually in Nashville. So 94 will be the temperature, 95 in Little Rock, but it will feel very sultry out there. We're going to watch the rainfall, though, on the increase in the coming days because of what's happening with Fred. So we've got a front that is settling in, and that's going to bring that increased chance of storms in places like Nashville and Chattanooga. However, we're going to see the moisture from Fred come up, and exactly where it tracks may not matter as much as to where the moisture goes, because that is going to be interacting with the boundary, the mountains, everything else here in the southeast that will help it rain a little extra. Models are a bit different. The first one was the European I showed you. This one is the GFS. We've got an increase in rainfall, yes, in Florida, but also in the southeast. You can see not as much as the European model had in terms of rainfall, but still a little bit extra. Here we go into the weekend. Time to get out for you. Sunday, it's Florida, and then we get you into Monday, Tuesday. It's the southeast. Alex, I want to show you what we're dealing with now when it comes to travel. We've had a ton of issues with the rainfall being too heavy, causing flooding. It was Michigan yesterday morning. This morning, there's parts of Kansas and Missouri. Let's take you out to Kansas City, because that really is sort of the focus of where we have the heaviest of rain and the biggest concerns for flash flooding this morning. That risk extends down into into Kansas, including around Wichita. And then we will have some scattered showers elsewhere, like on I-40, making your way from Texas into New Mexico. Also central and southern New Mexico getting into scattered showers for the morning drive as well. And then quick look for you here. Nice to see some dry weather here across parts of Michigan, although I know there's still a lot of cleanup. And Alex, not everybody even has power back yet.
It's amazing. There's over 500,000 there in Michigan still without power.
It's been a rough stretch.
It really has. My goodness. All right. Well,
it's Friday the 13th. And so, yes, it has been a tough and stormy month for us already in Michigan. And we are expecting the possibility of delays today when it comes to travel a little farther south. So we should get a break in Michigan. Chicago, northern Illinois, we should get a break. Still could have some thunderstorms around Cleveland, watching delays. Kansas City, I mean, you saw the active weather out there right now and everything you've been dealing with. So we are expecting delays at the airport for potential thunderstorm delays, but also just getting there. You might have to take some extra routes and add extra time. Northeast weather overall looks pretty good this morning. We have a chance of a couple of storms maybe coming into western New York. That will be on the increase as we get through the lunch hour. Western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, we've got thunderstorms coming on in here. It's also possible into parts of New England. We get a few pop-ups. Same thing around eastern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, State College. You may see some scattered thunderstorms, and I think it'll be more widespread for you, western New York, western PA, and that will keep our temperatures down a little bit today.
Watching that closely. Of course, the heat folks are waiting for that to kind of come down just a bit. Well, we will continue to try